So we were set back a little bit by Winter Storm Uri. We spent a couple of days in a hotel. We had power outages and water shutoffs and all kinds of things. It was record low temperatures here in Dallas and it was pretty dang cold, but we were all okay. We had a little bit of fun in the snow and now we're back and we have beautiful weather again today, so we're really enjoying that and ready to get a whole bunch of stuff knocked out. Hello and welcome. My name is Heather and in today's video I am sharing another whole house declutter as we continue our preparation for moving across the country and downsizing all of our things. Last week I shared the first round and today we're just going to do a little bit more, and I hope that it gives you lots of motivation whether you are moving yourself or just trying to minimize or downsize some of your things. If you like this video, of course, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button so you can continue to follow along on our journey, and let's go ahead and get started. I mentioned last week that we were trying to sell some of our things and we were actually able to sell our couch, our washer and dryer, our nightstands, and my husband's car. So that really helped clear out a lot of space and it's a lot less that we have to take with us. Plus we were able to get a little extra cash. So definitely recommend that if you're able to sell some things when you move or when you're trying to downsize, that can really help. But today we're just starting out here in the bedroom. I've already kind of taken everything off of the walls. And then over here we have this shelf, which I do love, but I don't think we'll be able to take it with us. So we actually just posted it on Craigslist. Hopefully we'll be able to sell that. If not, then we do plan on donating it. And then the bed and the mattress are both super old, like over 10 years old. So I don't think we can really donate those. I think we're just going to have to get rid of them, especially the mattress. But so we're going to be disassembling that today and getting that out. One tip, if you are having to get rid of some larger items like that, if you live somewhere that you can schedule a bulk pickup, then they will come and pick up those items for you and dispose of them properly. So that's a great option. So out here in the living room, like I said, we sold the couch. So we've just been using the air mattress for now, which has worked out great, but we'll be moving that into the bedroom when we disassemble the bed. I've already taken everything off the walls and filled in the holes. So not a whole lot left to do in here. We just disassembled the rocking chair so that we can try to take that with us. Okay, so there's just a few things on the mantle. And I don't want to keep this vase, but I'm waiting to take my roses out of it. So that'll be going to donation. Same with the mason jar. And I actually really like these little candle holders, but we had two more and they actually caught on fire. So I don't feel like they're safe, so I think we're just going to throw them away and not even donate those. And then this little candle, we'll go ahead and toss that too. The biggest thing that I'm struggling with is the houseplants. So this is Stephanie, and over here is this big guy right here is Igor. So we really love our houseplants. I'm very attached to them, but I just don't know if they're all going to be able to go with us. So I've already asked my sister if she would like to take them, and she has agreed to take them. So I'm really happy about that. I would hate to have to throw them away. So we're gonna try to take a few if they will fit, and if not, then I'll be giving them to her. And then out here on the balcony, there's our bikes, which I don't know if you can see. My yellow bike here has been so much fun. We've had a lot of adventures together, but unfortunately, it's not gonna make this trip. So luckily, my niece wants it, so I'm really happy about that, so that I don't have to get rid of it. I can give it to her. I don't know how much I would really be bike riding while pregnant anyway, so I'm gonna get that cleaned up and take that over to my sister's house. And then we just need to kind of get rid of some of these pots and things like that out here. And then these plants didn't really survive the winter storm, so I think we're just gonna have to toss those guys. All right, so today we are in our closet and we've already kind of cleared out a lot of stuff on the top shelves But we still have a few clothes that we need to go through. So my husband is going to go through his section today, and he'll be able to get rid of some of his old work clothes now since he had his last day at work yesterday. So he's going to do that, and then we're going to get rid of some of the other stuff in here, probably our Christmas tree and some other things. So we're going to go ahead and get started.
We were young and we were free and running, never bothered about what could be coming. Every day we danced and life was smiling. We were young and drunk in love.
Okay, so this is the after. He got it down to just this little section of clothes. And this is all seasons for him. So summer, winter, spring, and fall all in that little section. So I feel like that's pretty good. And then this is the pile that he's getting rid of. So pretty good dent that we put in his clothes, so we feel really good about that.
Chasing pavement on my own, 'cause you're here to stay every night and day.
Alright, so now I'm going to go back through my section of clothes and just do one more sweep and see if there's anything that maybe I haven't worn in the last few months after the last time I decluttered, or if there's just anything that I just don't really like anymore, and see what I can clear out.
I was caught in our favorite places, but we were young and unaware.
Oh, I got you, there's no reason to. Chasing pavement on my own, 'cause you're here to stay every night and day.
Alright, so after going through my clothes again, I was actually able to get it down to this little section, so I feel pretty good about that. And then this is what I am getting rid of this time. So a pretty good little handful that I can donate. I'm actually really sad about this Levi's denim jacket. I love this jacket, but I tried it on again and it was too tight in my shoulders now. So I don't want to keep anything that doesn't fit or isn't comfortable. So I'm just going to go ahead and be really relentless and go ahead and get rid of that stuff, even if I still think it's really cute.
Where I belong. We're not young, but we're still free and running. And this day has never kept us bothering.
Alright, next I have my tote of summer clothes that I had separated out from my fall and winter clothes. So I'm going to look through that real quick and just see if there's anything else in there that can go as well. Alright, so I was able to get rid of another little pile from that tote that'll add to my bag. And the rest of these I'm just going to save for when it gets a little bit warmer. And then I'll kind of evaluate at that point if I'm actually wearing them. Alright, so next I have this bag, and I'm not sure what else in here. I know for sure I don't want to keep this luggage bag anymore because we don't really ever check a bag when we go somewhere, and this bag is too big for a carry-on, so I really don't need it. So I know I'm going to declutter that, but I'm going to go ahead and see what's in it as well. I have a whole bunch of other bags inside this bag. I'm going to go through those and see if there are any that I actually want to keep.
Oh, I got you, there's no reason to. Chasing pavement on my own.
Well, I'm really glad I went through that bag because I found this. This was actually in my hospital bag, and I still have my extra long charger in here from the hospital. I have all of my little extra battery juice chargers for my phone, and I didn't actually remember that all of this stuff was in here, so I'm glad to know where that is. This is great for travel, and I'm sure we'll need this for our trip because we will be staying in a hotel halfway through. So I'm gonna hang on to that, and then I'm keeping one kind of big tote bag for our toiletries to go in when we travel, and then one duffel bag that I can travel with. But this other stuff, like this huge beach bag, we don't really use often enough to keep it. And then some of these smaller little bags and stuff like that, I'm going to go ahead and donate as well. Okay, so now looking back up onto the top shelf up here, we have this fan that we haven't used since we've been here, so I think that can go. And then this is my maternity pillow, so I am going to keep that because I'm definitely going to want that when I start to get a little bigger. And then back here, I just found, this is an old breast pump. And I do not know what to do with this because it still works. Yeah, so it still works, but I contacted the manufacturer. They said they do not take them back for recycling. So I really don't know what to do with it. I don't want to throw it away. I don't know of anyone who needs one though. So if you happen to have any ideas of what to do with an old breast pump, definitely let me know in the comments. That would be really helpful. And then up on this shelf, last time I decluttered, I got it down to just these 2 pairs of heels. But I recently just wore these to a wedding and they were killing my feet the whole time. It was miserable. So as much as I love them, they were my favorite heels at one point. It's no point in keeping them if they're super uncomfortable. I just can't walk in heels like I used to, I guess. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of those and just have 1 pair of heels, which is probably a first for a very long time. I've got it down to 1 pair of cowboy boots, which I just can't part with these. I wore these to our wedding and I'm a Texan at heart, so I've got to hold on to at least 1 pair of cowboy boots. All right, but I know we're gonna get rid of our Christmas tree, which does make me a little sad, but I figure for our very first Christmas in New Hampshire, it would be nice to go to a Christmas tree farm and get a real tree for the first time. So I think we'll go ahead and get rid of that with that in mind. All right, and then back here behind my clothes, I had tucked away our baby's play gym, which we are keeping for this baby to use. And then I have all of these like wedding canvases, which these are really tough because I spent a lot of money on them, but they're not really our style anymore and they take up a lot of space. So I don't really want to keep hanging on to them because I don't think we're going to use them again. So those are going to have to go, sadly. And I also found my college diploma. So I am going to hold on to this. I don't know when I'll be able to hang this up, but this is pretty special, so I am going to keep that one. Over on this shelf, I found this jar of like rocks and shells and stuff. I just think they're so cool. There's all these little crystals in here, fool's gold, just all this cool stuff. I have such a hard time decluttering this kind of thing because I always see the potential in it, like, oh, I can make something out of that. So I mean, I've had these for years and I still haven't made anything out of them. So I feel like if I'm following my own rules of decluttering that they should go, but I can't really decide yet. So I'm going to set these aside and think about it. But I would love to hear in the comments, what is the thing that you have the most difficult time decluttering? And what do you do to kind of break through that? Way down here at the bottom, covered in dust, is my old flute. And my dad and my stepmom actually bought me this to replace my older flute that I used when I was like in middle school. And it's just this really pretty white and gold flute. And I honestly don't ever play it anymore. But this is one of those things that I'm not going to want to get rid of. So I'm probably going to put this in my memory bin just to hold on to. Well, my son just helped me unorganize all my shoes. I had them nicely arranged on this rack and he took them all off. So I'm gonna put those back on. But I know this looks like probably a lot of shoes to most people, but this is all seasons for me and special occasions. And I decided to just keep what fits on this rack. So all of these fit on this rack, so I feel good about that. So this is all the stuff that I had in my fall decor tote. And it's funny how moving makes you kind of reevaluate what all you want to keep. And I've actually decided I don't want to keep any of this stuff. But I'm going to set it aside for my sister. So I'm going to go ahead and bag that up and get that out of here. All right, so now that I did another closet declutter, I'm going to go ahead and go through my dresser again as well. See if there's anything else I can get rid of out of there. This top drawer is just bras and underwear, and I recently decluttered that. This drawer is where I keep like all of my socks and t-shirts, and it's obviously a huge mess right now. Normally I have it nice and neat, but I just put laundry away and kind of just shoved everything in here. And I feel like I still have way too many shirts, honestly. So I'm going to go through those and see if there are any more I can get rid of, and maybe socks too. And then this bottom drawer is like leggings and joggers, which is the majority of what I wear every single day. and probably will be wanting to wear throughout my pregnancy. So I'm probably going to keep most of these, but I'm just going to go through and see if maybe there's any duplicates that I can get rid of.
Chasing pavement on my own, 'cause you're here to stay every night and day. I'm delighted 'cause I got you. La 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 la.
All right, so I pared it down to 4 short sleeve t-shirts and 3 long sleeve t-shirts. And these I wear for pajamas, loungewear at home, and for working out. So I like to have a few that I can wear when the other ones are dirty. Okay, so I didn't really get rid of that many socks. I got rid of like 3 pairs. But these 4 are like my good workout socks that stay up. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but when I wear tennis shoes, I hate when my socks slide underneath my heels, and these 4 do a really good job staying up when I'm running. These are just kind of cozy lounge socks for at home when it's cold. And then we are moving somewhere much colder than here, so I do kind of want to keep some of this cold weather gear. And then these are boot socks for when it's cold out, and these are just kind of regular thin, longer socks to wear with boots. So I am going to keep these, I think. Alright, so again, I didn't really get rid of that much since I know I'm going to be wearing this kind of stuff the majority of the time, especially with being pregnant. So I got it down to 4 pairs of regular joggers. 2 of these I wear like around the house, and then 2 or more so for pajamas. 2 pairs of pajama shorts. And then these are athletic joggers that I wear to work out in. And then 2 pairs of regular leggings that I usually either wear around the house or to work out in, and 2 pairs of maternity leggings. So I know I'm going to want these for when I get a little bit bigger in my tummy, and then I'm actually wearing some maternity leggings right now. So I have 3 black pairs. So I'm going to go ahead and put all of these back in the drawer. Alright, so here is the after. Much better. Now I've got all of my t-shirts right here. I've got my workout socks here, and then boot socks, and then my lounge socks. And at the bottom, now I've got my leggings, workout joggers, PJ shorts, and lounge joggers. We did do a huge kitchen declutter not too long ago, so there's not a whole lot, but I'm just going to go through and see if there's anything else. We recently decluttered our mugs, so this is pretty good. I know we're going to keep the food processor and most of this stuff. And then up here, we have like all of our coffee equipment, which since we are opening a coffee shop, we're going to be keeping all of that kind of stuff and just packing it up. And in here we have dishes, which we are actually planning on just going ahead and donating all of our dishes since they're mismatched. I would rather just go ahead and get a matching set when we get settled somewhere, especially since we're moving in with someone and I don't want to add like too much clutter alongside all of his stuff. So we'll probably just get like a couple when we get there to use, and then get like a matching set. Up here, I know we are keeping all of our glass containers, but we do want to downsize our glassware. So I'm going to be getting rid of all of the ones we haven't used in the past year, and just keeping a couple of glasses. And this is the spot that's like really tough. Even though I just decluttered this and got rid of a whole bunch of stuff, I still feel like we have a lot of these thermos type cups and water cups. So see, there's like 1, 2, 3 of that one. And then we have these well bottles, which I know we're going to keep those, but I'm going to see if I can kind of minimize that section. And then over here, I know I want to get rid of like the mason jar, and this was, I've been using this as a vase, but it's actually an old candle. So I'm probably going to get rid of that stuff as well. And then over here in this cabinet, we have our toaster, which I do plan to keep, but we're gonna go ahead and get rid of the blender since it doesn't work that well anymore. And I figure we'll just get a new one later, and when we get settled, that works better. So we decided to get rid of all of these glasses since we haven't used them really the whole time we've lived here. And then we'll just keep these 4 to use. All right, so actually going through the cabinets again, I found a few more things to get rid of. So we're not gonna keep these little dessert plates. And this tea has been up there for a while and we have not drank it yet. So that's another great thing to declutter when you're moving, is any old teas or things like that that are either expired or that you just haven't used. And then this jar I was keeping to use in the pantry, but it doesn't have a seal, so I just haven't really found a good use for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. This one that I don't know where the lid is, and then the plastic containers that I'm trying to kind of phase out. One of the things that we tried to do in our pantry, knowing that we were moving, is I tried to use up all of our, or as much of our baking supplies as possible. So I actually got through all of our white flour and all of our whole wheat flour. And I think I have just like a tiny bit of this cake flour left. So that'll make it a lot easier to move. And then we can always just replenish that stock when we get there. And we used up all of our protein powder, most of our sugar, and all of our oatmeal. So now I can just wrap up these containers a lot easier without having all that extra weight.
But here he comes to take me to.
So in this cabinet, I pared it down to these few water bottles. So these 2 swell bottles are for travel. And then I like to keep 1 big water cup and then 2 thermoses that we could each use for coffee if we wanted. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of these 3 extra ones. Okay, so far this is everything that we've pulled out of the kitchen to donate. Okay, so this is the coat closet, which we recently did a big declutter of, but we're gonna go back through and see if there's anything else we wanna get rid of before moving. So this part's the kind of challenging section with all the different like light bulbs and office supplies and paints, and I kind of want to eliminate all of these different storage containers, see if we can either get rid of some of this stuff or consolidate. Alright, so we pulled all of these little bins out of the entry closet, and so now I think what we've decided to do is whatever we're keeping, we're just going to try to put it all in one and then stack the other bins underneath so we can, just for the purposes of moving, and then we can reorganize them when we get there. And then like some of the stuff I know we can get rid of, like old light bulbs that go to something that I don't even have anymore, these little spare bulbs. All of these that are like a super white light that we don't like. We don't use lighters. So a lot of this stuff can be dumped, and then we can just stack this underneath to save it so we can reorganize. You helping? Okay.
Good job.
Okay, so this little storage unit was inside the entry closet. And so I'm just kind of going through, I want to get rid of this unit. So I'm going to take all this stuff out, and for now what I'll probably do is put it all in a box, and then when we get there, what I'm thinking is this will have like its own little tote to go in, all the cables, and then a lot of this stuff that I marked miscellaneous actually can go, like this is craft supplies from my Christmas DIYs, so that can just be added to my art tote. And then some of this stuff is like baby stuff. This is like a fan for his stroller. And then bubbles, flashcards. So all of that stuff could go with his things, and maybe I'll just put it like in a basket in his closet in his room when we get there. And then this is baby proofing stuff. So that could go with that same stuff. And then this is a craft, so that could go in the art tote. And then this is like tacks and hooks and things. So all of that kind of stuff could go in the toolbox. And then this last one is like all my label makers, letter boards, and letters. So I'm going to take all that stuff out and just put it in a box for now. And then when I get there, I can organize it into like a basket or a bin on its own. And that way we can just get rid of this storage unit.
That makes me blue.
Okay, so I'm just going through this little jar that was in there, and there's already a whole bunch of stuff that, like this little phone mount we don't use. I don't know what this key goes to. Guitar pick, we already have a whole bunch of guitar picks. There's a million of these little wrenches. So I'm just going through here, and a lot of this stuff can actually just be thrown away. Because old brackets, those might just go in the toolbox. And then I'm just kind of setting aside this little tote as like tacks and hooks and like hardware type things. Alright, so over here in the entryway, it's a pretty big mess right now. We have stuff that's donating, we have stuff that's getting thrown away, and then this whole area is stuff that we are hoping to keep. It does look like a lot, but we're just going to see what we can fit, obviously. And then whatever doesn't fit, doesn't fit. But some of this stuff is going, this chair is super like years and years old and has some tears and stuff. So we're gonna have to toss that out. The mirror also. And then over here, I started this yesterday. I was showing you guys the entry closet, and my sister and I were able to clear out all of the bins that were in here. So now it's just a matter of this stuff up top, which this is camping gear, so we'll most likely keep that because we do go camping a couple times a year, and I know we want to take our son camping before this little one arrives. So we plan on keeping that stuff. Not sure about the little space heater over here, but I feel like we have a lot of coats, so I think we can donate a couple of those, especially since once we get to New Hampshire, I'm sure we're going to want to get something extra warm and like really invest in something really nice. So we'll downsize those next. Okay, so we were able to downsize it to one light jacket for me and kind of a medium coat and a heavy coat, and then same for my husband. So we're donating 3 coats and taking these with us, and that pretty much finishes out the entry closet. We just need to clear it up and pack that other stuff up. In the towel cabinet, we are going to get rid of our old, kind of worn out towels and just keep like the newer little washcloths and stuff that we bought. So we have that one and this one that I'm gonna check with the local animal shelters and see if they need any, and I'll drop them off there. And then we're just going to keep 2 of these and 2 hand towels. And then over here in the shower, we are going to keep the shower curtain and the hook, since we only had this for a few months. But I never keep the old liners. So we'll go ahead and toss that. So these are all the old towels and then a little blanket that I found. So we're about to go ahead and take those up to the animal shelter. All right, we've got the van loaded up and we're about to head to the donation center to drop all this stuff off and then head over to the animal shelter.
You are gone, that makes me blue. But here he comes to take me to.
Oh no! Do y'all take like gift wrap and stuff like that? Yeah.
I told you. They're almost like brand new, those bags. Well, that is it for today's video. I'm pretty worn out from all of the decluttering and packing, so I am gonna go try to get some rest now and probably edit this video. But if you are not already subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and I hope to see you in my next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, y'all.